Catus Maximus here. Went into O'Reilly's Auto Parts. It seems that they, a few years ago, did a big push to kind of update their tools, and they haven't had much change. But I went in there and they had a couple of interesting, appears to be newer items, something I hadn't seen before. This is the Performance Tool Mini Ratcheting Tap Wrench. It uses, and people will be familiar with some like ratcheting screwdrivers and stuff, it uses a slider ratchet mechanism, not the most robust, but it seems to be okay. At least they're using a metal switch, just a little tap wrench. Of course, on this, we have right, left, and then the center position locks it up so you can do your little thumb chuck. Of course, they have special jaws, and the reason these wrenches exist is on just, this happens to be an extractor, but just the same as extractors, taps end up having, whoop, this is probably the maximum size for this thing here, squares, and those squares vary depending on the tap size. So this holds onto the tap nice and straight and true, and then this lower portion ratchets. I also thought it was kind of interesting that they did include a bubble level, which I thought was at least a neat idea. When you're using a tap wrench in a vertical position, then yes, you can get the bubble right in the middle, and it helps you start your tap nice and straight. Of course, if you're using your tap wrench in any other direction, the bubble level doesn't do you anything. I've actually seen a style, a round style like this, but it's like a whole clear, I should say, package, and then it's hemisphered along the edge, so you can actually use it like this. It was also a bit deeper. So, but considering what they've done, you know, I think it's okay. You know, first tap wrench I've seen with a bubble level. Other than that, reverse mechanism seems to be okay. This is not rebuildable per se, but the way these work, there's actually a spring behind this switch here, and so you can always just push this switch down like this and get a couple drops of oil in through the gap there, and that's how you keep something like this lubricated. It is nice to be able to ratchet in, just because it's a little bit more ergonomic and convenient. Actually, even with a tap this size, you'd have it, the handle out. We have these little detents here. As it was packaged, the whole handle can completely pop out. I don't know why these edge detents are so far inward. You would think that they'd have it set up so the tip of the handle would be flush with the body. Other than that, you'd be in this position once you've got it started, and you'd ratchet in. This is going to be used with the hand taps, which are 4-flute hand taps. And the proper way to use those is one full turn in, half a turn out. One full turn in, half a turn out. You're duplicating your efforts by 50% because you have to remove the big buildup of chips. They end up building up and can break the tap and jam up. That's why you go 360 degrees, and then you would back out 180 and then go back another 360 degrees. Always had good success with that. If you're just chasing threads, fixing up threads, that type of stuff, then the ratchet actually can make it just a bit faster. If you don't have an easy way to do this action with your hand, it's a neat way to use one of these, as well as the fact that the ratcheting action makes it much easier to actually attempt to tap something that's close to some wall or a surface, restricting access. That's one of the big advantages to this. So besides that, not a whole lot else to say about this thing. Get this out of here. Threads seem okay. Decent knurling up there, and decent knurling on the back, so you can spin it, put this in the center position and just spin this out. Or, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of is maybe you're chasing threads and you're having to go down a ways. Other than that, I like the quality. It seems to be pretty decently built, although it is made in China. They do advertise a lifetime warranty on this. I don't know how it is dealing with Performance Tools warranty. The one thing I was going to mention, and it seems to be held in okay with the handles, this is not a press button. These types of ratchets always have like a sleeve or something over them to hold all the bits together. And then, you know, I kind of thought they'd use like a little clip or maybe a couple screws. Instead, they've chosen this kind of oddball pin, which you think initially is okay, but when I was moving this collar back and forth, this pin is wobbling back and forth, and that doesn't give me a real confident feeling here. Actually, I think, yeah, that has a... I don't think it's a push... Oh, interesting. It's spring-loaded, so this actually is... Oh, it's odd that they chose to do that, huh? So you can... Well, I have to release it some more here. Oh, the chuck is blocking it. But you can actually press that and rebuild it. That's not something I was expecting. I was noticing it, and I just thought it was a pin not installed very well. But instead, it's a release pin instead of permanently staking it, so you can push that down and slide the whole mechanism apart and ostensibly service it. Well, now the pin doesn't want to go back into place. There we go. It was a little bound up. So, I'll give them credit for that too. Talked too long about a little tap wrench. I just thought it was such a neat and cute little wrench, and surprisingly enough, it was out of O'Reilly's Auto Parts. And Harbor Freight's had like a pretty nice, large ratcheting, you know, Pittsburgh Pro ratcheting tap wrench. But this is a mini one to go along with it. A little stiff. I'm probably going to add some drops of oil just right now. Anyway, really appreciate everybody who's been watching. See you next time.